pleasure.
Hello, Alberto. Novadon. Okay, so Lucy is here, and hello. Last time, Lucy, you mentioned about feeling stuck in the world of. Oh, we've just lost Lucy. I'll wait till she comes back for that point. Does anyone else have any questions or anything they would like to bring up?
I have one, and mine is, well, it's not going to be as interesting as most of them. Satipatthana and Sati Sampajana. Is there a difference? And if so, what?
Sampajana is panya. Sampajanya is panya cetasika. So it's referring. Okay. So Satipatthana usually refers to sati sampajanya, sati and panya, the awareness and direct understanding of realities. So
and with that, go ahead, Sarah.
So Satipatthana is the development of awareness with right understanding of realities. So Sampajanya is exactly the same as Panya here, referring to direct understanding of realities.
Okay.
In fact,
I've been reading something. Sorry, Jonathan, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, if you read the sutta closely, the key words throughout are about understanding.
Yes.
And knowing and seeing. But it's all in the context of sati, awareness.
Yes.
Just like the other suttas we have are about, seem to be about concentration on superficially, but when you look at the operative words, it's understanding. And same with energy, effort, for example. Yeah.
Right. So Sati Sampajanya is panya, and Satipatthana is the right view of realities, direct understanding.
Well, Satipatthana is the name of the sutta, that's all. And Patthana is translated as foundations. Or, there's another translation, which I just can't think of it. So basis for sati. So it describes, in that sense, I think, what can be the object of awareness. And those objects are divided into 4 sections within the sutta. So their arousings is another translation of patthana. So the term satipatthana, as far as I know, doesn't refer to a specific moment or reality, whereas sati sampajanya clearly does. It refers to sati that arises with understanding.
Okay. Well, that would refer to particular moments. Sorry, I'm writing here. So I've been reading something that uses them, and one of them never gets defined. Anyway, thank you. Yeah, I think that helps.
So when we talk about how there has to be the development of pariyati, the right intellectual understanding about dhammas, to condition patipati, the direct understanding of realities. The patipati is referring to the development of satipatthana. So without the, as we discussed last time, the careful listening and considering and right intellectual understanding about what is the truth now, seeing now, hearing now, no one here at all, there cannot be the direct understanding, the patipati, which is the development of satipatthana, direct understanding with awareness. There cannot be direct awareness without direct understanding, so they develop together.
Right, and I think I heard Ajahn talk about towards the particular, for Patana, moving towards the particular.
So often people talk about or translate pati pati as following a method or
No,
understanding a method. But pati, actually, the first one means reach. And
reaching, yes,
reaching a particular object.
Yes.
Yes, that is the actual
right.
translation. So it's at a moment of satipatthana, the understanding reaches the object which appears, the particular object which can be known.
So at that, because with sati sampajana, it's the sati which arises when there's direct understanding. Is that it?
Exactly, because sati awareness arises with all wholesome states, moments of kindness, moments of generosity, moments of intellectual right understanding. Awareness arises at all those moments, but it's only the sati of satipatthana when it arises with the direct understanding of reality.
So with sampajana, it's the sati that arises. It's not direct understanding, that with sati sampajana?
It is sampajana. Sampajanya, the understanding, is the direct understanding, the pati-pati direct understanding.
Right.
And just for Lucy's benefit, here when we're talking about sati awareness, is quite different from the conventional ideas we have of awareness or mindfulness, or the use of mindfulness like in the yoga class, or when people are reminding their children to be mindful and aware when crossing the road, or using the cooker. Here it's referring to the characteristic of awareness, which is also always wholesome at a moment of being aware of a reality, the moment of being aware that it's just hardness touched, no computer, no table, no arm, no leg. It's aware of the reality. So that's why it has to arise with right understanding.
Right.
Can I just say something there, Sarah? If I might, I remember you we talked about this on Friday, and for me, when I listen to that, it's about removing the I. So it's not about I am aware, I am mindful, I am being present. There is no I, there is no self. It's just the seeing, the thinking, the touching. It's hard, it's, so that's the difference. That was provided the clarity for me, is just that removing the I. That's that conventional understanding of I am, I'm being mindful, I am aware.
That's
Is that
exactly
right?
the point, yes.
Yeah,
and when
that's
it is
point.
just we're thinking of a situation, I'm going to the supermarket, I'm going left, I'm going right, I'm being mindful. It's not the understanding of Dhamma now. So just as you got the main point, it's anatta, no self there, no one who does anything. So it's the awareness and understanding of the reality which has being conditioned to arise and which appears right now.
I'd like to add one small addition to that, that the main point actually, Lucy, is the understanding of what is appearing now. It's that which leads to the understanding of there being no I. So it's not a matter of necessarily just reminding ourselves that no I, no me. That doesn't achieve anything, because it's not based on an understanding of what is there. So we understand at a conceptual level that there are just momentary dhammas rising and falling away one after the other. But that understanding at the conceptual level does not advance by, can only advance by actually there being awareness of those fundamental and momentary realities. And it's only with the the build-up of awareness and understanding of a number of those momentary realities, that there comes to be any actual realization of the truth of Dhamma.
Okay. So that's where it's the Satipatthana, which is the combination
Yes.
of the understanding and the awareness.
Right.
Right.
Well, understanding is always combined with awareness, yes.
It's always combined with that. So it really is the deep, at the deepest level, what is there now?
Exactly right.
Yeah. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a very good little summary, Lucy. What is there?
Yeah.
What is there now to be understood, and no I that is doing anything? Let's see if Ajahn would like to add anything to Anne's original question or anything else that we'll be discussing.
Now we're talking about a reality which is sati, and understand what is sati. But now it's much more to learn about reality. That's why there are many levels of sati. And when we talk about satipatthana, what is the object of satipatthana? See, otherwise, can it be satipatthana if there's no understanding of what is the object of satipatthana, or mental dhammas, experience, and object? Together, citta, cetasika, sati, and panya, it depends on that very moment whether what level of sati is there. When it's about dana and sila, no right understanding, it's only sati without right understanding. That's why, how come to understand the meaning of satipatthana, not only sati, but satipatthana, the object of satipatthana, is that which is there now, to understand the truth of it. So the point of satipatthana has to be conditions. It's conditioned to be aware of the truth of that object. Because now there is seeing, no understanding of seeing as no one, not I. It's just a moment of experiencing an object. But at that moment of seeing, there is no satipatthana. But we heard about the truth of seeing is there, just a reality. The reality which doesn't have any shape or form, smell, taste at all. Imagine the object of that reality which arises to experience from birth different object at a time, with or without understanding, or with or without dosa, moha, and attachment. So many realities in life. How can it be known as not self? It's not just thinking about it. It's not anything. It just arises and experiences the object. Citta is achieved. Sati is not achieved. But what is the characteristic of sati and its function? We have learned a lot. But when we talk about satipatthana, it doesn't mean that there's no understanding of whatever is there at all. Otherwise, how can there be what we say, satipatthana? The word is said, but how can it arise? Can it arise now or not? And what is the object of it? That's why right understanding has to be, even intellectually, understanding the object of sati and the purpose of understanding the truth, not just to learn about the word, about it, but to understand the nature of that, as it appears as no one and no thing at all. So we learn a lot to understand that satipatthana is as other reality, anatta, without conditions for it to arise. It cannot arise at all. That's why understand the point of not just listen to the word, but understand the word about it enough to let go gradually, little by little, wrong understanding and clinging to that which is now appearing as something as usual. Because we learned it's a reality which sees, it's a reality which is seen. We understand just the word about it, but the reality, the nature of that object does not appear to be known yet without satipatthana. See? So satipatthana is moments of being aware of the object which is now appearing by conditions, not at will or not without any understanding. Just sit and try to understand it is wrong, because how can it be understanding when there's no understanding from the very beginning? The intellect understanding that is there, but it does not appear as it is yet. But whatever is there now can appear to right understanding gradually, little by little, directly. At that very moment, it's different from hearing. About seeing, is there a reality which experiences that which is seen now? But the truth is that it's so true about seeing and that which is seen, but nothing appears as it is yet, because it has to appear when sati arises, being aware of a reality by conditions. And without right understanding, it's impossible to arise to be aware of the nature of any reality right now by conditions. That's why there is the understanding of the degrees of understanding, intellectual understanding, condition, direct awareness with understanding instantly beyond expectation. Even right now, who knows? All depends on conditions, what is there, and how much understanding of any level is there, or none at all, by conditions. That's why we learn to understand that when there is the understanding of what is there as not self, that's not only enough, it's only the first round of the Ariya Satya, but even the path, the fourth noble truth, has to be clearly developed with understanding, little by little, not just to expect that it's there and think that it's awareness or satipatthana. It's not like that at all, because right understanding is so truthful to the truth. How much understanding of what is there. And even right now, is it satipatthana or just sati at moment of understand the word about satipatthana? That's why we learn to understand the truth when it's there. As long as satipatthana does not arise yet, how can there be the understanding of satipatthana? Because just heard about it, but at the moment when it's there, it's not known. That's why we learn what is satipatthana. It's the sati, which is aware of the nature of that, which is the moment of developing understanding, with sampajanya, which is right understanding of panya. Sati alone cannot understand the truth, but the understanding at level of intellectual understanding is there, with awareness, little by little, because even right now we heard about it, the truth of what is now appearing, but sati is not there to be aware of the truth until the moment of satipatthana is there. No doubt about what satipatthana is. It's there to be known. It is aware with a little understanding of the truth. So it can develop on and on and on and on to let go the idea of self or something or I from whatever is there as usual. See, that's why it's just daily life, understanding what is there, little by little, until condition for direct awareness is there. And satipatthana or sati sampajanya because Satipatthana is the object of sati, but the sati, which is aware of it, arises with sampajanya or panya, understanding it, not clear at all, but it begins to be directly aware of the object as it is known that whatever is there can be realized, but not with intention or not with the idea of self, but right understanding is there to understand when sati is aware, little by little. And that is the second round of the 4 Arya Satya. So natural, like now, seeing is there, Dhamma Sava is there, ignorance is there, Hiddhi Sava is there, see? Who knows? So very subtle, but it's there, ready to come out, to ooze, to be aware, to be that moment of clinging or titi or avijja instantly. That's why we learn about each citta very clearly with understanding the truth at level of intellectual understanding. That is a letting go from no hearing at all, no understanding the truth of it at all, but understanding firmer that no one at all. But we can say method or what we have heard, but it's not the moment of beginning to develop the understanding of that, which it takes quite a long, long time, unknown, unexpected at all. How much understanding is there from life to life? It begins to show up if it's ready to understand what is now appearing at what stage of understanding. But now, Panya is so true. It knows that it's so very deep and very subtle to begin to just be mindful or being aware, not of the word, but of the characteristic of what is there now, as we have heard. The reality which experiences is not the object, the color, the smell, or whatever is there, as usual, because without attention or attend to the characteristic which is now appearing as that which experiences, hasn't been started yet until it's there again and again and again and again. Truthfully, how much understanding? So very little, but it's there. One moment to one moment, years and years, to let go, not understanding the truth. Ignorance is there when there's no understanding, but without any word when it's there. Otherwise, at moment of thinking about the word, it's not awareness of what is there now. Because at moment it attends to the meaning of the word until it attends to the truth, the nature of that which is now appearing. So sati is a path of the Buddha and everyone to enlighten the truth. Is it now Satipatthana? The object is there. The first meaning of Satipatthana, but the second one, direct awareness of it, isn't that it? That's why the path is so very subtle. It's just the moment of understanding, little by little, intellectually, until it's directly, until it is moment of realize the truth, because the truth appear well to Panya only.
And John, when you say the object is there,
Yes, seeing.
Object is there because there would be no, let's seeing if it weren't, but the object is there, but still unknown, still hidden by ignorance and attachment.
Satipatthana.
Pardon?
So
I'm
it's
sorry.
Satipatthana when it's not known, when it's not attended, when it's not.
Oh, it's not Satipatthana then.
So the Satipatthana, the object of Sati, is
Yeah.
Satipatthana. When Sati is there, be aware of it. So the object which hasn't been Satipatthana before, because Sati does not arise to experience it, is different from moment when it's there. And Satipatthana directly be aware
Mhm.
of the nature of it. So two meanings of Satipatthana, the object of Satipatthana and the Satipatthana itself, which is aware instantly of that object with right understanding, sampajanya, sati sampajanya. But at moment of hearing, considering, it's just right understanding, which is not sampajanya, together with direct awareness.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that last sentence? What you just said?
Yeah, just about now, seeing is there. There can be right understanding, hearing, considering, but not satipatthana yet.
Yes.
The object is the same.
Yes. Yes.
So one can understand meaning of satipatthana, the object and the sati itself, and this is the only path leading to understand the truth, the realization of what is there as it is, right then or right now, depending on the path which Buddha had developed, and everyone had to have to develop too. Otherwise, it just was an intellect understanding. This is just the first round of Satipatthana until awareness is there directly of what is there now appearing. The second round, to be the third round, realization of the truth. From just one moment of understanding, little by little, patiently, parami, kanti parami, with virya parami, and with satya parami, and adidana parami, never change. No matter when it's there, when there's right understanding, it develops on and on, little by little. By conditions. Otherwise, how can there be letting go of I am, I like, I now? See?
Let me just give a little bit of a summary because there are quite a lot of terms here for those who are not familiar. So we've talked about Satipatthana as being the direct awareness with understanding of realities. And Ajahn is pointing out that actually there is another meaning. In fact, there are three meanings of Satipatthana. So the first meaning actually refers to the object that there is awareness of, the patthana. So at a moment of awareness of seeing or awareness of the visible object, the object, the seeing or the visible object is the object that can be understood, there can be awareness of now. Computer, arm, leg, body, eye cannot be the patthana, cannot be satipatthana, cannot be the objects of awareness and understanding because they are not realities. So the first meaning of satipatthana refers to the object to be understood, to be the object of awareness. The second meaning that we've been talking about all through the discussion is the direct awareness and understanding, the mental factor of sati, and with the mental factor of panya, understanding, which are directly aware and directly understanding the object, the reality appearing. And a third meaning we haven't touched upon this time refers to the path followed by the Buddha and the noble disciples who have understood the truth, who have developed the Eightfold Path and realized the truth, the path of the development of Satipatthana. And the point that you were asking Ajahn about, and she was mentioning that now when there's right understanding, right considering about realities, the understanding is panya, it is sampajanya, but it's not the panya or the sampajanya of Satipatthana. It's not, if it's not the direct understanding and the direct awareness of what is seen now, what is heard now, then even though understanding is there, even though it's the right considering, it's not Satipatthana, it's not understanding of that level. And the other point she was referring to, and she's mentioned 2 or 3 times this morning, referred to the 3 rounds. These are the rounds of understanding of the 4 noble truths. The first noble truth refers to how all conditioned realities are dukkha, unsatisfactory, because they rise and fall away. Seeing now is dukkha, hearing now is dukkha. Whatever arises and falls away is dukkha. And the second noble truth refers to the cause of life and samsara, the cause for the arising of these unsatisfactory realities again and again. And the cause is attachment with ignorance, clinging. And the third noble truth refers to the cessation of ignorance and attachment and the cessation of conditioned realities. And the fourth truth refers to the path, the way we've been talking, the path, which is the development of understanding, the development of Satipatthana. So the first round is the intellectual understanding of these noble truths, beginning with the first one, the intellectual understanding that what is seen now is just what is visible. It's not someone, it's not something. It's just that reality which doesn't last. And the intellectual understanding of the other truths, including the way that understanding develops. The second round refers to what we've been discussing, Satipatthana, the direct understanding and awareness of these noble truths, not just thinking about how it's hardness that is touched now, but it is the direct understanding and awareness of hardness, which falls away instantly, and the path which is directly developed through this understanding and with other path factors. And the third round refers to the realization of the truths, the insights into these truths and enlightenment. And then the other point that Ajahn was discussing, this is for Lucy because there are a lot of terms, the paramis that Ajahn was mentioning, these are the mental factors that lead to the perfection of different states, such as patience and truthfulness, which have to develop with understanding. So a couple of times Ajahn mentioned Kanti Parami. Kanti is patience. Sorry, Kanti, yes, patience with understanding. So for the development of understanding, there has to be a lot of patience. And we discussed this last Friday. Usually everyone would like to get quick results. This is why they would like to do something, follow a method. but understanding has to develop gradually and naturally with a lot of patience. And Satya Parami, which she was mentioning, Satya refers to the truth. There has to be the development of understanding of the truth of life now. And I think we mentioned before, different from conventional ideas of truthfulness, it's the truth of what appears right now. So often we talk about different paramis, different states that have to be developed with understanding. Understanding needs the support of right effort, right patience, truthfulness, and so on. Adhitthana, Jan mentioned, this is the confidence. As understanding develops, that there is no I there, no I to be found, no I to do anything, as you mentioned. There's more and more confidence that the only way is through the development of understanding of the truth now. So Adhitthana Parami develops with understanding and patience and truthfulness and these other factors. And Virya Parami is effort. So usually conventionally, again, we're so used to making an effort, trying to do something, but it's so much more subtle. At moments of understanding and awareness, the effort is right at those moments. At moments of trying or following a method or wishing to do something, effort is there, but it's wrong effort. So we have to understand more about what the reality of effort is and understand that it arises with wholesome and unwholesome states. So anyway, I think those were the main points.
Thank you. Thank you. That's great, Sarah.
Do you have any more questions, Lucy, on anything we've discussed so far, or anyone else?
Not yet. I just need to read my notes.
And thank
Thank
you,
you.
John.
That was very good.
Thank you,
A
John,
lot
for
of
your
detail.
discussions, your discussion about this. It's very helpful.
As Alberto is here, I had a brief exchange with him on DSG, and last week we talked about the listen carefully, and quote, and Alberto shared the commentary note about this that is we often read about in the suttas. And I mentioned that sometimes it's translated as listen carefully, but sometimes the expression, I think it's sadhukam, is translated as listen closely. And I think this is quite interesting because yesterday in one of the discussions, Ajahn was also talking about how understanding has to develop closer and closer and closer to that which is there at any moment, because the teachings are so very deep in meaning, and there can only be respect to the Buddha at moments when there is listening carefully, and actually it is closer and closer, listening closely for the understanding to develop closer and closer to what appears now. In the beginning, we just have a vague idea, oh, okay, it's sound that is heard or visible objects seen, but that understanding has to develop more and more precisely until it is the reality itself, which is directly understood and known closer and closer. Do you have any comments, Alberto?
Thank you, Sarah. About the word sadhukam, like closely or carefully, I was thinking it's interesting because the Buddha at the beginning says this word sadhukam, and at the end, people who were listening to him would say sadhu, 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 and which is usually translated as well said, or well. I was thinking it could also means was like letting know the Buddha that they have listened carefully. The Buddha was like reminding them to listen carefully, and then at the end they would say, "We understood what you were saying, sadhu, sadhu." Yeah, could be another. Also another meaning of sadhu and sadhaka. Changing a bit the perspective from the listener who has listened to the words and has understood the word of the Buddha. Like when we listen to Ajahn and we say sadhu, sadhu, because we have understood what she said. Yeah, sadhu, sadhu, Ajahn.
Yes, that's an interesting point. Good point. Yes. Well appreciated, or something like that.
Yeah, it's like when people go to meditation retreats or anything, and they take refuge before at the beginning. But in the sutta, we hear the people taking refuge at the end of the discussion, when they had understood the teachings that the Buddha was telling them about. And then they would be able to take refuge because of the understanding of the teachings which the Buddha just taught them. It's another instance of how the teachings are not understood, and they are like the meaning of the teaching is not is distorted. It's atta vipalasa, which the commentary was warning us about. It's so easy to misunderstand, even while reading the sutta or listening.
And it can just become part of a tradition, like whether it's said at the beginning or the end, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. It just, whether there's any understanding or not, it just becomes a cultural expression to say, I think. So it always comes back to the citta now when speaking or listening.
The sadhu, sadhu sounds, it's a bit like anumodana. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which can be overused and mean nothing.
Yeah, exactly. If not understanding and saying sadhu, I don't think it's people at the time of the Buddha would say sadhu, showing that they understood what the Buddha was saying, and so we can. So at a different level, we can say sadhu, sadhu, according to our understanding, which cannot be like as much as in the old time. Little sadhu. It's
I asked it. Sorry, Alberta, go on.
Yeah, I just was saying that because of the subtleties of the depth and the subtlety of the teaching. And I remember Ajahn saying that we go across the words without
Well,
really.
it can just show appreciation also, even if there's not a great level of understanding. Just like we say conventionally, thank you. Sometimes it's heartfelt, but mostly it's
There's a
just to show
conventional
appreciation.
Conventional translation. Sorry, Azita. Go ahead.
I asked a Thai friend what this listen carefully is said in Thai. And she said, Trai Trong. And I've heard that said a few times in the Thai discussion. And it means, I looked it up, and it means to think over, to consider, and to ponder. And she seemed to think that was that it's used a lot in the Dhamma discussions that are in Thai. So for what that's worth, just another word to throw in. But yeah, to think over, to consider, and to ponder. I guess with right understanding to a degree.
And to listen closely to, as we discussed. Yeah. And I think, like Avoto mentioned, it's, as has been stressed a lot, it's not about the word, but about the understanding of what appears now, because it's not about how much one listens. Like some people have the wrong idea that it's how many hours of listening. No, it's about this very moment of when listening carefully, whether there's wise consideration, understanding of what is heard, of the meaning of the reality appearing now or not.
Well, to me,
but there has to be the hearing about the truth in order for that understanding.
To me, it sounds like what we'd call listen attentively. And of course, what follows after that depends on accumulations. But for those who have an interest in the subject matter, then there would be pondering and considering further. But the actual moment of listening, at the actual moment of hearing, attention is being paid to what's being said rather than to anything else.
Yeah, I've been listening a lot lately to the different discussions, simply because I've got real health issues that are limiting me doing anything else. And then I was thinking about it this morning. If I didn't have these health issues, would I be actually listening as much as I am? And I thought, well, I think there's an I in there doing the listening and wanting to get more understanding, because I feel like my current lifestyle is really awful. So that's all. One moment, there's a big truck coming. Now it's all gone dark. I've had to shut the window. Yes, so I feel like I'm listening with I in there to get more, to make me feel better, maybe. I suspect. But I'm also, excuse me, I feel like I'm also hearing more than I have in the past. But yes, as you said, hearing is one thing. Actually taking it in and considering, pondering over it is quite another thing.
Well, personally, I don't think we have to analyze too deeply our motivation for listening. I think it's driven by an interest in the Dhamma, mainly, broadly. And of course, there are all sorts of selfish reasons in addition, or self-based reasons. But that's life. That's going to be the case anyway for a long time yet, until the citta becomes more purified.
Yes, I think you're right, because in actual fact, I could be listening to something else completely, or whatever, reading a book, but I have no interest in listening to the radio or even reading books that aren't Dhamma books. So yeah, maybe there's a bit more to it than a me. It's certainly a lot more interesting, I would think, than what's going on in novels and on the radio.
Well, one can have an interest in both those things without any conflict also. An interest in the Dhamma and an interest in current affairs or sport or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not what either one or the other.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be.
No, I'm just talking what it is for me, though.
I would think, though, Azita, being as conscious as it sounds as if you've become here, about it's I listening, it's sort of me inside listening. That's good. Being conscious of it, thinking about it, as opposed to I'm just listening.
Or as
Which-
opposed to
which-
kidding oneself
Right.
when it's Dharma, so it must all be kusala.
Right,
Must all
right,
be
yes, Sarah, thank
wholesome,
you.
or must all be
Yeah,
understanding.
Yeah, exactly.
And it has to be like that. It's natural. It's different moments.
Well, it's an interesting situation for me to be in, because most of my life I've been really healthy, and I think it's a good. I read something, I can't remember what it was in, or maybe the Visuddhimagga, about decay. You know, as there's aging, there's decay. And I thought that was quite an interesting comment, because I can sort of see it happening, which, it's not so pleasant, but also a reality. And, you know, it's making me kind of think about, I've always been a bit impatient all my life, just whizzing around, and this is a completely different lifestyle, which is a bit hard to handle at the moment, because I can see why there's a lot of unhappiness, because and it's the second noble truth, isn't it? Attachment. It's not as much attachment as there used to be, because I can't get around as much as I used to. So there's that sort of thinking comes into it as well, thinking about what I've learned about the Dhamma, realities, life, samsara. So in one way it's good, but in many other ways it's not. That's pretty well all I have to say, actually.
Well, I hope your health issues improve anyway, Azita.
Thank you, John. So do I. But so be it. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not.
And what about for Nina towards the end? She was really homebound, couldn't go out, had to have her dressings changed daily, but so fortunate to still be able to listen to the Dharma, have an interest in the Dharma, to be able to discuss. And ask questions, and appreciate the important points, not the details, not the Pali terms, not the intricacies, but the truth of life at this very moment. And there just has to be acceptance and contentment. This is life as it is, just one moment at a time. And like when we were talking about wrong views, and we were saying, well, no one can stop the next moment, and life after life, just one moment arising and falling away. Seeing now is the same as seeing when running around, or seeing on one's lying on one's deathbed, or seeing in the forest. It's just seeing, just the reality. So coming back to there's always reality appearing now to be known. And when there's understanding of what life is now, no thought about me and my bad health and my problems. It's just the truth, just the object that can be understood here and now. That's all it is. No I to be found.
Yes, I've thought about Nina quite a bit. And I thought, well, maybe I should just get down and do some writing. However, I've got a cupboard full virtually of stuff I have written over the years. So I'm going to start going through. I found one priceless little one where I used to go to the Siam Society Library in Bangkok, which had the most wonderful collection of commentaries and everything. So I'd sit there for hours just writing page after page of stuff, and that's the stuff I'm going through. And of course there's that angst about, will I ever be able to get into the Siam Society Library again? So, you know, that's life, isn't it? It's good.
Probably
it's
all
bad.
available online now.
Pardon?
It might all be available online now.
Oh, it probably, yeah.
Yeah, you never know.
Mm. Oh, it was just nice going there because it's a really nice space, and because I like new areas to explore, and yeah, going online is not the same, but depends on yeah. So I'm not going to be coming to Bangkok or Vietnam this trip.
We'll miss you.
Well, some of it will go. Thank you. I'll miss you guys very much so. A lot of it will be on Zoom. Yes, no, you know. Why?
Certainly the part in Bangkok will be anyway.
Okay, yeah.
And
Yeah.
in any case, now it's just seeing, hearing, thinking again and again, no matter what.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yes.
Yep, that's exactly right. Thank
Thinking
you.
about Bangkok, thinking about Siam Society, thinking about this, thinking about that, just daily life. And this actually, if Sal is there and is able to turn on his camera, I want to pick up on a point that you brought up in Vietnamese discussion last week, Sal. Are you there?
Yes.
Anyway, Sal, you mentioned, because you weren't there in the discussion yesterday, I was going to add more, but you weren't there. You mentioned that an important topic about how we often say that live life naturally, follow our usual life, learn to understand the truth, no one there, no I, not trying to do anything. And you mentioned that before when you've commented about playing the guitar, we've said, oh, this is daily life. Nina used to say, yes, I play the musical instruments too. So play the guitar, watch television, lead life as normal with more understanding. But then you, at the end, you said, well, what if my normal life is following some meditation practices? Do I have to give it up? Please correct me if I have remembered anything wrongly, because there are also different realities at this time. So whether it's playing the guitar or following meditation practices, different moments of kusala and akusala, understanding and ignorance. And yesterday in the discussion, I think it was the Vietnamese one, Ajahn made a comment about as usual means with a little more understanding. So cooking, going to Siam Society, playing the guitar, but with a little more understanding of reality, a little more letting go, a little less akusala. So playing the guitar, there can be this seeing, this hearing, there can be understanding. In the meditation center, this seeing, this hearing, there can be understanding. But what is the motivation when picking up the guitar? It's just for attachment or enjoyment or giving pleasure to your grandchildren, perhaps, at different moments. But when following one's meditation subject, when focusing on breath or focusing on the abdomen, or what is the motivation? Is there any idea of getting a particular result, or is it just for one's enjoyment? That's the point. Do you have any comments?
Thank you. Thank you, the teachers, you, Achan, and everybody here. And it's so helpful to me. I really appreciate about this. You know, today is traditional New Year in Vietnam. So yesterday, I remind me, don't forget the Dhamma discussion, but I forgot. So I remember you say to me, everything by condition. Do not try to do anything. So today I hear from you. It's very helpful to me. Thank you, Kun Sarah. I keep, but let's be natural, not try to do something. Thank you, Kun Sarah. I can't hear from you, Kun Sarah.
The seeing now is natural, the hearing now is natural, the wishing is natural, the being annoyed about being sick is natural. This is just daily life. Forgetting about the discussion is natural. And so no need to try to do anything, no need to try to focus, because there is focus, there is concentration already at each moment. No need to make an effort, because there is effort at almost every moment, not at moments of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and other rootless citas, but with each kusala and akusala citta, effort is there already. So no need for I to make an effort, no need for I to focus or concentrate. Otherwise, it's the wrong path. And the wrong path takes one further and further away from the understanding of just what is conditioned now, as you've said. But as I mentioned when we were talking about the paramis, the confidence has to develop with understanding, confident that the only way, the only path is just understanding here and now, nothing for this imaginary I to do at all. But the old habits, the old ideas come in so quickly, thinking there should be a quicker way, or maybe the way other friends are following is better because they seem so calm and happy. But this is the doubt that comes in, lack of confidence. But even doubt is real. It can be understood. Taking it for something is natural. It can be understood.
Thank you. And thank you, Achan. Thank you, everybody.
I'm glad you could join today after forgetting yesterday. Glad to see you. And I just ask Ajahn if she would like to add any comments to any of Azita's points or your points or any point.
Kun Sao, Are you meditating now?
Now I'm talking with Ajahn. If you, if it's as I hear from you a long time ago, you asked what is meditation, and then you explain a little bit more the meditation, like experience directly the characteristic, what absolute reality at this moment. So if meditation with this meaning, so I can answer your question now. I'm not practice meditation. Ajahn.
Anymore or just now?
No, not every time. Not just now.
From now on, no meditation or what?
Yeah, no meditation, Ajahn.
Never again or sometime?
Never.
That's right. Because what is meditation? See, the reality of meditation, there are only citta, cetasika, and rupa, conditioned, arising, and falling away all the time. So, what is meant by meditation? And people think that they are meditating. See, what is that? If there is no understanding of what is there now, from hearing, considering, can there be a moment of realizing the moment when it's there, arising and falling away? It's not just a word, but it's the truth of what is there right now. It has a reason, who knows? And it falls away instantly, who knows? But the truth is that it has to be the way of whatever arises, fall away instantly. That's why, without understanding firmly about this kind of truth, nothing is permanent. So very short, because at this moment of talking, speaking, hearing sound, they're seeing all the time, see. But the truth that Buddha had enlightened is that what is there is not the same one, it's different one by conditions. Follow one another very closely, instantly, all the time. Consider the truth of it. And this is the way to let go, the clinging to the idea of self. No other way at all. That's why no matter what we are talking about, it's there right now to be known. That is, get closer, not to think about the world, the window, and who's there. But the reality is now so close, so near, that not enough attention to it, because understanding is not strong enough to condition moment of directly understand the truth that we have heard about it. For example, hardness is there. No time thinking about the reality which experience it, right? But what hardness is, something all the time. So understand how much accumulation of ignorance and wrong understanding. And the only way to let go of ignorance is moment of understanding, as it is, little by little, to let go the clinging to the I at moment of thinking, seeing, walking, every moment in life. Years and years ago, is understanding the truth is so very pleasant. To understand the truth never change. It's such reality which is conditioned to arise no matter what. Little by little, enjoy the truth, that it can be known little by little, But if there is the intention of clinging, just want to understand more and more, is that the way to understand it? That's why even the path leading to understand the truth is very subtle. It has to be firmly confident that no other way at all, because the way is to understand the truth of seeing right now, or that which is seen right now, when it's there, only when it's there. And this is the condition to have firm confidence, to understand a little more of whatever Buddha taught about the truth of it, to let go ignorance and attachment because of no understanding of the truth. That's why Buddha taught for 45 years in all aspects to condition understanding of the truth of no one and nothing at all. They are anatta, little by little, not just to think how much I understand this or how much I have to go on. That is the idea of self again and again and again. So at any moment, it's not just try to understand what is there appearing, but what is there so close at moment of thinking about it. See, closer and closer to the truth. No one, no thing. Seeing is not known as it is, so it's taken for I see. See? So this is the the first round of Ariya Satya. So firm, so true, never change. And when time comes, there is directly understanding that which is now appearing as it hasn't been aware of at all, or it hasn't been known at all, little by little, to understand the difference between moment with sati, but sampajanya, and sampajanya, and moment without sati and sampajanya, because it has to be directly on the object which is there only. And what is meant by only? Nothing there at all. Is that right? Nothing there, only that. Can anyone imagine? Is it true? Otherwise, how can it let go more, little by little, about what is there appearing? Well, but not well enough, until better and better, clearer and clearer, until no doubt about it. So whatever is there in life depends on understanding. And understanding, letting go, what is there in life, from hearing the truth about it, even Kamma and Vipaka, Kusala Kamma, body, speech, and mind. Otherwise, nothing can be conditioned to think about it, to begin to understand what is there in daily life, whether it's Kusala or Akusala. So it doesn't mean just understanding the word in the book, but what is there right now in life at moment of eating, playing, sleep, or no sleep at all. So what is sleeping? See, what is waking up and on? They are all real. Otherwise, how can it be known? I sleep, I wake up. And at moment of sleeping, can it understand anything? Can it know anything? Can it experience the object through 6 doorways? Daily life. And more subtle than that, even in between processes, what is there? See, no one knows. But it can be known, not by intention, but by conditions. what is now to be known. See, it's gone all the time. Nobody can expect the object of understanding of the second truth round. They're directly aware of that because it hasn't risen yet. But when it's there, depending on conditions, the whole life, to be long-lived or short life and so on, what is the meaning of it? If it's someone, how can it die? Because it's someone permanent one, like now. Permanent me, or not permanent at all. Just very short moment of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and followed by ignorance and clinging, when there's no understanding of the truth. And ignorance cannot let go. Attachment or wrong understanding of self. So among all conditioned realities arising and falling away, right understanding is the most precious. Is it true? Better to be full with prosperity, fame, and so on, but no understanding of the truth. And just a moment of understanding what is more precious. Is that
Thank you, Achan. I'm really appreciative about it. Achan, and I heard, I think I thought too much about the word you use because with me, I think it's really helpful, but it's really difficult. That word joy. You said understand with joying or joying with understanding. I like it, but for understand about this, I think it's really difficult for me. So can you say a little bit more about this? Joying with understanding.
at moment of understanding, what do you feel?
Joy, like happy.
Little by little shows up. With this at level that it can be known as so joyful to understand the truth, not to be ignorant anymore or attachment anymore to that which is just very temporary, just arises and falls away. But ignorance clings to it so much that it can do harmful things, crime or whatever, see. So the understanding of the truth is so very precious. It doesn't bring any dangerous event at all. Is it joyful not to have such stage of mind? Just keep away temporarily, depending on conditions. How much understanding of the truth, whatever is there by conditions, no matter it's wealth or fame or what, just a moment and no one there at all, gone instantly. But ignorance and attachment is there. That's why Buddha taught for 45 years to be conditioned to developing understanding of the truth, of whatever truth in a moment right now. Otherwise, we think that we understand that or we will try to do that. But in truth, what is there now? Beginning to understand, firm confidence, the truth of it, firmer and firmer. Life is so short, is that right? Temporarily death, each moment, until it's time to end. No more this personality. Samadhi Morana, what we know about that. But conditions keep on, condition next moment, non-stop. It's just that which is there by conditions, the prison of ignorance and attachment, never to get out. So understanding is the best reality in life, no matter what life. The truth is so true, and life change when there is understanding a little more of what is that which is wholesome and that which is not wholesome, beginning to understand the unwholesomeness of ignorance is the cause of every wrong deeds, speech. Otherwise, it changes your life little by little at moment of understanding that life is so short. So what is the best thing in life? So short, understanding the truth. So at moment of understanding, it conditions joy, the way to let go, ignorance, attachment, all kinds of wholesomeness is known. Otherwise, no way, because all the way is conditioned by ignorance and attachments. So anyone who tried to change their life without understanding, it added more and more ignorance and attachment for us, for oneself. But understanding of the truth that there is no self, it's only kusala or akusala or vipaka. What is there in life which can be known is movement of the result of karma, unknown. How long it had been done, but the result is there, as seeing right now. We just said that it's the result of karma, but what karma? See, karma is the deed, the cause to condition its result to be seeing, present or unpleasant object, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. So it can be known. No one can make any result to try to be rich. It depends on conditions, whether it's there or not, long or short, by conditions. So understanding the truth is the Satya Bharani. To understand life as not me or anyone, it's just the way it is. What is conditioned to arise to experience is real, because there is that which has arisen, experience, and object right now, close to daily life. That is a teaching of the Buddha, not in the book. So now there are conditions to attend to the characteristic which experiences the object from birth. And the ultimate truth is that even that moment is not permanent, so very short, but it conditions the next moment of that which arises and experiences the object, on and on. So it's not just hearing about, seeing is real, it experiences the object, but it's not known because it's not clear. There is only attention to what is there, experience, that's all. But what about the reality which is taken for I so firmly, eons and eons up to now? It has to be known. So at moment of listening to the truth, beginning to understand the way out of circle of birth and death, little by little, better than just cling to it on and on, unknowingly at any moment. That's why Panya has to be so keen, so sharp enough to understand what is there as that which arises to experience an object from moment to moment. That's all. different object, different thought, and then clinging again. And at moment of understanding is moment of letting go of ignorance and attachment, little by little. So very precious. Joy is useless to hear the truth. See?
And at the moments of understanding, no thought about my illness or my travel difficulties or what I would like to do at the Siam Society or this problem or that problem, because it's letting go of all that at those moments, just understanding. That's why it's joyful at those moments. No thought of what I should focus on and is there another method or way, just understanding at this moment joyfully. So the less thought of I doing, following, focusing, finding a different method, the more easily life goes, not trying to do anything. So a little more joy, a little easier, living at ease and appreciating it's just this moment. And for some of the Buddha's disciples, they were also very sick, but the understanding helped them appreciate just this moment. No thought of the pain or the disturbances or the difficulties, all gone.
Thank you, Asha. Thank you, Hunsara. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So helpful to me.
Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you.